Welcome back, my friends. I am Brian, and you are Chords and Notes Nation. Thank you so much for joining me once again for this versus reaction. Wherever you are and whenever you are, it is always appreciated that you spend some time with me listening to amazing music from amazing bands. Today, we are featuring two bands that have never been featured on this channel before: Caravel from Germany and The Main Squeeze from the United States. These two bands are going to be facing off in this video. They're going to be covering their interpretation of the song No Quarter by Led Zeppelin. Now, this song was released in 1973 off of Led Zeppelin's Houses of the Holy album. That's a pretty good album. That was the one that followed up Led Zeppelin 4, which had such amazing, amazing hits that we all know: Black Dog, Stairway to Heaven, Misty Mountain Hop, and the list goes on and on and on. No Quarter for me is probably one of those sleeper songs by Led Zeppelin where it's not commonly name-checked as one of their greater songs, but in a way, it just is. Because it is, I guess it was, for them at least, sort of an experimental sound. And it has this really awesome riff in it. Jimmy Page, I mean, come on, right? He always comes up with those awesome riffs. And I love his solo in this song. But this song really features John Paul Jones on organ, keyboards, synthesizers, however you want to call that. Because, I mean, this was 73, so we're still not into the digital era yet. And JPJ is such a monster musician to begin with. It's a lengthy song. It's probably, I want to say it's around the 7-minute mark. The vocals were recorded, had this sort of, I don't know what effect originally was on the microphone that, or the audio tracks, I should say, Robert Plant laid down, but it had this sort of mystical feel. There's allusions to Vikings again. Winds of Thor are blowing cold, and this idea of no quarter being, you're not giving your enemy any surrender. That's it. They're done. And it's kind of a, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the way things were done once in a while. Maybe they still are. Who knows? But I don't fight wars. We talk about music and its effects on us. Now, in these face off, these versus reactions, this really truly is about featuring two groups or two individuals, whatever the song is, whoever I've chosen, not in a way to compete like who's better. Don't let the title fool you. Better just means, who did you prefer? Whose version did you prefer? And sometimes you have versions that are very straightforward and, I would say, true to the original, like a tribute. And then you have those that are transformational, where the group will come in and they'll take the entire song or parts of the song and sort of inject their own voice into it, their own interpretation of it. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. It all depends on your standpoint. And as we do these versus reactions, we'll talk more about keeping it true to the original or transforming it. Sometimes I think I'm on the fence. Sometimes it's, you got it. I'm a purist. You got to keep it exactly the way it was supposed to be. And sometimes it's like, you know what? Those of you that take the chance to change a song, you better do it good and you better do it appropriately. And sometimes it's hit or miss that way. So anyways, we're going to start with Caravel. Like I said, they are from Germany, and I believe this was recorded 6 years ago or released 6 years ago. Or let me see here. Just want to make sure. The Main Squeeze. I apologize. we're starting with the main squeeze, and that was, I believe, 6 years ago. So let's do this thing. This is an 8-minute long version. That Mellotron. Looks a little bit like Dave Grohl.
Walking side by side with death. The devil marks their every step. The snow drives back the foot that's slow. The dogs of doom are howling low. get through to build a dream for me and you. They chose the path where no one knows. They hold no water. They ask no water. They have
Wow. Okay. Without a doubt, I will be reacting to more of the main squeeze. What an amazing group. They took that song and they transformed it. It stayed within the structural framework of the composition, but there was enough room, a lot of room of improvisation going on there. Okay. So you most notably the vocals, the way he sang it was way different than the way Robert Plant sang it, but kind of in the same spirit where it was especially the reverb um, on the miking it gave it sort of that mystical singing from a different dimension kind of sound. But his was really soulful, and the way he delivered it was totally different than the way Robert Plant did. But it fit this version of the song perfectly. Really impressed with his singing skills, the power, the range, the emotion, the soul, all of that there combined for a really great listening experience vocally. The next I would go to is were the pianos, the keyboards. Um, Certainly the main elements were there, but when it came to I guess the solos, the solo. It was, first of all, more piano than synth sounding, and it was more improv. It sounded different than the original. Now, of course, Led Zeppelin, when they played this live, they changed things up too. So it could be that they may have based this off of, musically at least, maybe one of their live Led Zeppelin's live performances. But I have a feeling what they did is simply just keep the structure, sound, the integrity that way, the framework of the house, but they put the doors and the windows in different places. You know what I mean? And then of course it was the guitar. That was, I completely forgot about Jimmy Page in that guitar solo. Completely. I was blown away with this guy's emotional content that he put into that, and the way it just flowed so naturally from him for this song. It just like wowed me. I was entranced, but at the same time, I was trying to remember Jimmy's original guitar solo, which I really loved the first, handful of notes, couple of bars, because on the on the studio version, that's what I was trying to say mentally, find the words for. There was just something about that solo, but it was shorter than like on the Song Remains the Same, the live version. But Jimmy kept much of it the same, but he added on to it. And so this is what this guy did, is he just, in my opinion, changed the entire solo. It fit his soul. It fit his voice, his musical voice, but it didn't change the overall effect emotionally of the song. And again, I think it only works with their interpretation being intact. Because if he were to take that solo and put it into, if they were to say like everything else musically stayed the same as the original and then puts that in there, I don't think it works. So all in all, I think their whole approach was professional. I think it was tactful. It changed it without changing its overall effect and impact. So I was really impressed with this. All right. Next one.
Close the door, put out the light. No, they won't be home tonight. The snow falls hard, and don't you know? The winds of Thor are blowing cold. They're wearing steel that's bright and true. They carry news that must get through. And they choose a path where no one
what's going on here?
Walking side by side with death. Devil marks their every step. The snow drives back the foot that's low. Dogs of doom are howling more. They carry news and must get through. To build a dream for me and you. They choose the path when no one goes. They hold no water. They hold no water.
Oh, that was a little bit of a change. Wow. I'm wowed by this one as well. Um I want I wow. So much to say. Oh my goodness. So this one I think was a little bit more true to the original. There was less interpretive, but there still was interpretation going on there. I'm going to start with the guitar solo. Okay. So that was his solo. This guy's solo. He did it. It was his voice. That was his Moment to Shine. Excuse me, Moment to Shine. Um, and it was different than the other guys from the main squeeze, and that intrigues me because here you have the same song, two different versions of the same song, two different guitar players taking their time to shine, and both of them had equally great guitar solos. And now it's like, oh, which guitar solo do you choose? Well, I couldn't choose that outside of the context of the song that it's in, or the version of the song that it's in, because I don't know if this guitar solo would work in the main squeezes, and vice versa. It could. It might, but it just, it's one of those fun things to think about. That's why we do these videos. Uh her voice. Okay, so there wasn't much on her microphone as far as effects, but what she did was the way she sang this song was a little, well, definitely more true to the original than the vocalist from the main squeeze, but how she delivered it, you almost didn't need that extra, those extra effects on the mic to give it this otherworldly sound. And the way that she sang it, especially when it came to the word goes, that was, oh my god, that was such a great idea on her part and well executed. It really gave it a little bit of an extra dimension, a surprise factor there, and I like that. See, if you're going to transform a song, if you're going to interpret a song, um, in these ways where there's just subtle changes, like at the very end, right? The chord progression was slightly different. They added a little something right at the end, to the riff that was sort of a, what's the word I'm looking for? It it sort of announced the chord progression that was going to end the song. I That's not the word I was looking for, but forgive me. I'm I'm recovering from a head injury. So the words are they elude me. Oh, what is I wanted to say? Um, Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'll probably remember after I'm done recording. Uh, so it's sort of in the last riff, they added those extra couple of notes, which then sort of announced, okay, this is the chord progression that is going to end the song, and they did, and that was just so cool. It was really cool that she got in on the keyboards at the same time as the other guy. That was well choreographed, nice slow movements, so nothing, no accidents happen there. There's no bumping into each other, or you know, or the keyboard, that sort of thing. Wow, yeah, this was really cool. I liked this version as well. Okay, so this is where we're at now. That point where you're going to take these two songs, both are interpreted, excuse me, interpretative, whatever, in their own way. One a little more so than the other, but they both kept the spirit of the song, I think, true. And it was such a pleasant listening experience. And they're equal in my opinion. It's like now there's no glaring differences. Now you just have to go into which one felt better. Which one did you feel, from your own personal perspective, moved you more, or drew you in more, captivated you more? I can't I can't make a decision on this one. I think I'm gonna let you guys just sound off on it, because all the reasons I already stated are reasons why I like both of them. But if I'm forced to have to pick one, boy, I really like the way she sang it, but I really like the way he sang it. And it's really, to me, I think it's going to come down to the vocals. Oh, another thing is that with Caravel, you had two guitars and a bass, and so it had a little bit more beefier sound, a little more aggressive sound, and that's why I kind of lean towards that. But the way dude sang it from the main squeeze was like really impressive too. But I liked how hers was just subtly a little bit more different. And in that subtlety, I think it had more impact because I didn't know where she was going to change how she sang it. Whereas with the main squeeze, you already heard from the very beginning the way he sang it, the whole thing was going to be a little bit different. So there was no anticipation, no surprise, no, uh, when is she, when is he going to sing it this way or that way kind of thing. Um, it's neck and neck. It is neck and neck, but I think personally, I'm going to give this one to Caravel. I loved the main squeeze though. That was so badass. But it's going to be that much leaning towards Caravel. I'm looking forward to what you guys have to say. Don't forget, there will be a poll posted after this video is published, so you can vote there as well. That's all I have for this one. I hope to see you guys once again in the comments, and I hope you tune into all of my versus reactions. Don't forget, it is both in the form of a podcast and a reaction playlist you can find on my channel. So please explore that. God bless you. Jesus loves you. And I will talk to you in the next video.